How did Cyril Ramaphosa rise from humble beginnings to become one of South Africa's wealthiest figures? Was Cyril Ramaphosa already wealthy before he became the president of South Africa? What role did Cyril's connections with key political and business figures play in his wealth accumulation? Was all of his wealth comes from his connections or deals? Did Cyril Ramaphosa's role in union negotiations open doors for his success in the business world? What were the major business deals and investments that cemented Cyril Ramaphosa's financial empire? Who plays a major key role in his success, both financially and politically? Were there controversies or rumors about how he built his fortune? Is Cyril Ramaphosa's wealth a liability or an asset to his presidency? Did Cyril Ramaphosa use his political influence to boost his business interests? Or did his business acumen fuel his political ascent? Get ready, because we're about to dive deep into these burning questions and reveal the facts behind them all. Cyril Ramaphosa, who became the president of South Africa in 2018, is one of the wealthiest political figures in the country. His wealth, often estimated between $450 million to over $500 million when he assumed office, comes from a combination of strategic business moves, key connections, and various investments throughout his career. Here's a detailed breakdown of how he accumulated this wealth, starting from his early life to his ascension to the presidency. Cyril Ramaphosa was born on November 17, 1952 in Soweto, Johannesburg, to a family that emphasized education. His father was a retired police officer, and the environment he grew up in provided him with a deep awareness of South Africa's political landscape. He studied law at the University of the North Turf Loop, where he became active in student politics, eventually joining the South African Students' Organization and the Black People's Convention. In the 1980s, Ramaphosa rose to prominence as a labor leader, founding the National Union of Mine Workers, NUM, in 1982. This role not only gave him political clout, but also deepened his connections with influential figures in the mining industry. These relationships proved valuable later in his career when he transitioned into the business world. Leveraging the influence and networks he built during his time as a union leader, Ramaphosa worked closely with him during the formation of the National Union of Mine Workers, NUM. Barai was the first president of NUM, while Ramaphosa served as its general secretary.
As we pay tribute to Elijah Bagai, we want to reindustrialize the Gauteng economy. We want to build new integrated human settlements. We have also renamed the R501 road, provincial road, as Elijah Bagai Road. So that's our moment to say that workers contributed enormously to the struggle for freedom in our country.
Although not directly part of NUM, the Rupert family's industrial empire was significant in South Africa's economy. And Ramaphosa's later involvement in the business world is believed to have intersected with such influential circles. Another significant figure in union circles with whom Ramaphosa collaborated, particularly during the struggles of the 1980s labor movements. Transition into business. Post-apartheid opportunities. After apartheid ended, Ramaphosa's connections, negotiation skills, and prominence in the African National Congress (ANC) allowed him to transition into business seamlessly. He was a key player in negotiating South Africa's peaceful transition to democracy and was considered a potential candidate for president even then. In the mid-1990s, after losing out on the ANC leadership race, he left active politics and shifted focus to business. Many believe this move was also influenced by advice from senior ANC leaders who saw the benefit of having trusted allies in the business sector.
Our major weapon of struggle against apartheid oppression and exploitation is our people organized into mass formation of the democratic movement.
Ramaphosa was a key player in negotiating South Africa's transition to democracy, working closely with Mandela during the Convention for a Democratic South Africa (CODESA) talks in the early 1990s. Mandela highly valued Ramaphosa's negotiation skills, although he later backed Thabo Mbeki as his successor. While Mbeki became Mandela's deputy and eventually his successor, Ramaphosa's relations with him remained central to the ANC's power dynamics. Despite being political rivals at one point, they navigated complex party relationships, influencing the economic policies that Ramaphosa would later benefit from in business.
Well, we at Shanduka Foundation are very, very proud of the developments that we have achieved since we started the Shanduka Black Umbrellas Initiative.
But we wanted to see where we could make a really meaningful impact. One of the projects that we're involved in is a project that we are working on with the government in the Free State. And what we have done is we have formed a public-private partnership. And so it's Shanduka Foundation, it's Kagiso Foundation, as well as the Free State government. And together with them, we have put aside 400 million rand, which will be used for schools in that particular province.
In 2001, Ramaphosa founded Shanduka Group, a black-owned investment holding company. Through Shanduka, he acquired stakes in various sectors such as mining, energy, real estate, and fast food chains like McDonald South Africa.
Cyril becomes the controlling shareholder in the McDonald South Africa business. This transaction secures the continued growth of the McDonald's business in South Africa, and McDonald's is fully committed to our partnership with Cyril with the backing of the Shanduka Group.
His wealth grew significantly through these investments, particularly due to South Africa's Black Economic Empowerment (B) policy, which aimed to redistribute wealth and foster economic inclusion of Black South Africans. Many companies sought to partner with Shanduka to improve their BE ratings, giving him access to highly lucrative deals. Some of the notable investments included stakes in Standard Bank, MTN, and Lonmin, among others. His stake in Lonmin, however, came under scrutiny after the Marikana massacre in 2012, where striking miners were killed.
But it's part of the dysfunctionality of our state. I think it's going to shake up a lot of things in the country. It's making us ask a lot of hard questions.
Partly due to his role as a non-executive board member at the time. Former CEO of ABSA and a prominent figure in South African finance. While not directly tied to Shanduka, her influence in financial circles overlapped with Ramaphosa's banking investments. a businessman with interest in mining, banking, and telecommunications. As Ramaphosa expanded Shanduka's footprint, interactions with other business leaders like Pitiana were strategic for navigating the corporate landscape. Ramaphosa's wealth accumulation was also supported by his strategic relationships within the ANC and with South Africa's business elite. As a skilled negotiator, he often found himself in pivotal roles, allowing him to secure advantageous deals. His relationship with billionaire and businessman Patrice Motsepe, who was his brother-in-law, also gave him insight and access to valuable business opportunities. Ramaphosa owns several high-value properties, including a luxury residence in the affluent suburb of Hyde Park, Johannesburg. Reports suggest that his real estate holdings span both residential and commercial properties, adding substantially to his wealth. He also owns a significant property in Clifton, Cape Town, known for being one of South Africa's most prestigious areas, where properties can range from tens to hundreds of millions of rands. His Clifton property, often highlighted in the media, symbolizes his wealth and high status. Divestment and transparency initiatives. Prior to becoming deputy president in 2014, Ramaphosa began the process of divesting from his business interests to avoid conflicts of interest. This included stepping down from his roles at Shanduka and selling stakes in companies like McDonald South Africa. His acquisition of the master franchise for McDonald South Africa in 2011 was facilitated by relationships with international stakeholders, which allowed him to hold a significant stake until his divestment in 2016. Despite this, questions and rumors about the extent of his business influence persisted, with some speculating that he continued to benefit indirectly from his earlier investments. Ramaphosa's wealth comes from his strategic investments through Shanduka, key positions in companies, and property holdings. His B deals and ability to partner with major corporations played a crucial role in amassing his fortune. And there are persistent rumors about offshore accounts and hidden stakes in various ventures, though no concrete evidence has been presented publicly. Some critics also suggest that his transition from labor leader to business tycoon was facilitated by leveraging his political connections in the ANC to secure favorable deals. Public records detail his divestment process before taking political office, yet his wealth and how it intersects with his political roles continue to be subjects of public scrutiny and speculation. Cyril Ramaphosa's wealth story is complex, shaped by his transition from activism to entrepreneurship and later into the political realm. While many see him as a self-made businessman, others argue that his wealth is deeply tied to the networks and opportunities afforded by South Africa's post-apartheid landscape. As he continues to lead South Africa, questions about the origins and ethics of his wealth remain a point of discussion.